Well, it looks like men have a bit of a blind spot when it comes to sexism, but researchers at York University have found a potential solution.
For more, we're joined by CTV Science and Tech Specialist Dan Riskin. Dan, welcome. Tell us about this potential fix.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting story that basically, this is research out of York University, and what they do is they have men read different stories about experiences women have had, and then they're asked, how sexist do you think that was? And it turns out that if you say, imagine this is happening to a stranger, men don't tend to see as much sexism as if you say, imagine this is your girlfriend. And then all of a sudden they get, whoa, that's totally sexist. That's totally unfair. They see it very, very differently. And when I heard this sort of headline, I thought, men are such idiots, right? Like, until it affects me, like, I just don't get it. I have no empathy for anybody else. But the researchers have a much more empathetic way to think about this. They see this as a, sort of an opportunity to help men see this issue better. And so now that we know men have this bias, if we phrase things in this way, to please think about your girlfriend having this experience. Now think about, whether this is fair or not. It helps to sort of take that blind spot away.
Yeah, I think it's important because oftentimes when it affects you or someone you know, you do think of it differently, whatever the subject.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. I mean, just for example, if you hear about a car fatality in a faraway city, you don't think anything. But if it's on your street, it really means it's a huge deal. It's the biggest event of the week. So, it really depends on how close it is to home. And so that helps people sort of drive that home.
So I was off last week. I did think of you. Don't panic. It was nothing bad. But I saw a coyote, and apparently observations like this help scientists do research.
Yeah, no, exactly. So if you see a coyote, take a picture with your phone. There's an app called iNaturalist, and there's a new research study that shows that the popularity of this app and its power for the scientific community has just exploded. In the last 5 years, the number of scientific papers using iNaturalist data has gone up tenfold. That's a picture I took of a flower I saw in Jasper. Ooh. You can take a picture of anything. I was just like, what's that yellow flower? I took a picture, and it told me what the flower was. It's got AI built into it. So it's fun for me, but now that observation of that flower is available to any researcher who wants to know the species, the distribution of those flowers, or how their coloration changes in different places. And your coyote observation, if you take a picture and put it into iNaturalist, and you can use old pictures and put them in there, could help people understand what time of day coyotes are active in urban versus rural areas. All these scientific questions become available. So iNaturalist, highly recommend. It's free, and it's a lot of fun.
Great benefit.
That's good to know. Yeah, the cicadas this year, so loud. I took a picture of like what ended up being a dead cicada. I was like, what is this thing? And that's why.
Yeah, it tells you what it is. It's so fun. That's a true bug. You can actually call those bugs. A lot of insects you're not allowed to call bugs because they're not really bugs. A cicada is a bug. So.
We're learning something every day with Dan. And by the way, Dan's going to be going to Scotland, and there's some new research that says the real Loch Ness Monster sightings don't usually match the classic postcard image. Tell us more.
Yeah, well, listen, the only reason I'm going to Scotland is for this story. I mean, I'll have to go have fun and have a nice vacation too, but really, I'm doing it for the science, right? So this new paper came out. Turns out that when you look at Loch Ness and you look for that creature out there somewhere, there's a sort of image in people's heads of what Nessie's supposed to look like. And it's that one on all the postcards where the humps are sticking up out of the water. You know what I mean? It's like a snake that goes up and out of the water. Well, that shape is in about 30% of the souvenirs and T-shirts and things like that. But if you look at the actual observations, that shape is only on about 1.5% of them. And the researchers say that's good evidence that people are seeing something. Because if they were just imagining the Loch Ness Monster, there it is. If you were just imagining the Loch Ness Monster, you would see what you imagine the Loch Ness Monster should look like. So everybody would be reporting these humps out of the water, but people don't report that. So it's not necessarily that they're seeing Nessie, but they are seeing something, and that is why I'm going to Scotland. I got to go check it out.
You take a picture of it, send it to yourself for research.
Exactly. I put it in iNaturalist. Exactly.
You're going to have a blast.
I hope so.
We've been, and there was this old man, elderly man, who took us on a boat, and I couldn't tell if he was telling the truth or not, but it was so real the way he was describing it. He was showing the radar, and it was an adventure.
And then at the end, he pulled his mask off, and he was Nessie?
Not quite, but we had a great time.
Oh, wow. I've seen Scooby-Doo. I know how it ends. That's awesome.
Enjoy yourself,
I will.
Dan.
I hope I get that experience. That's great.
Yeah, I hope that guy's still there. Dan Riskin, Science and Tech Specialist. Bon voyage.
Thank you.